Agnihotra is a scientific procedure given by Vedas for purification of the mind, the body and the atmosphere. Regular practice of Agnihotra leads to better environmental equilibrium and enhances the quality of life. Components: the Agnihotra pot, a pyramid-shaped copper pot designed with mathematically specific dimensions. Dried cow dung cakes. Remember, do not use buffalo dung or any other animal's dung. Uncooked and unbroken rice grains. Cow ghee. Exact local sunrise and sunset timings. The process: place the copper pot on a flat piece of tile or stone. Place a piece of cow dung cake at the pot's base. Arrange the pieces, keeping space for air to circulate. Take the unbroken, uncooked rice grains in a plate. Apply a few drops of ghee. Divide the ghee-soaked rice into 2 morsels. Now apply cow ghee to a small piece of cow dung cake and light it. Insert the lighted piece of cow dung cake in the pre-arranged pot. Eventually, all the pieces in the pot will catch fire. The fire must be ignited 5 to 10 minutes before sunrise or sunset timings. On exact local sunrise or sunset timing, release the offerings in the fire one by one. Remember, release the offerings on the word Swaha. The sunrise mantra is Suryaya Swaha, Suryaya Idam Namama, Prajapataye Swaha, Prajapataye Idam Namama. The sunset mantra is Agnaye Swaha, Agnaye Idam Namama, Prajapataye Swaha, Prajapataye Idam Namama.
Appears to rise, a flood of energy comes from the sun, which consists of several types of electricities and subtle energies. This is an inundation which purifies everything in its path.
Due to chanting of Agnihotra mantras, certain resonance is created in the Agnihotra. They are unanimous in saying that if you perform Agnihotra at sunrise and at sunset, then you feel a protective cover around you at all times. When sun rays travel toward Earth through the atmosphere, they carry many nutrients and energies from the atmosphere. Agnihotra is the only procedure by which these healthy nutrients and energies are transferred to the plant. Agnihotra is the basic process in the practice of the Homa organic farming.
We have with us Dr. Vinay Nikam, person with many qualifications. He is Miss Civil LLB, M.Tech from Roorkee IIT. He's PhD in environmental studies, and he is also an environment consultant. So we are blessed to have with him today. He'll be talking about Agnihotra and geopathic stress. In fact, मैं यही जानना चाह रही थी, geopathic stress इतना भारी भरकम सा term है, इसका मतलब क्या है पहले?
So good things, a good initiative. Thanks to organizers for giving me opportunity to present on this little bit different topic, but it's very connected to all of us. Let's explore next few things, and of course start with Guru Mantra already hua hai. So without Guru Mantra, without Guru's Ashirwad, we are nothing, right? So whatever I'm presenting today, it is because of several gurus who has nurtured me. Okay, so you must have witnessed sometime, right? And ever you have feel that uncomfortable when entering the building of premises. कभी ऐसा होता है, कुछ बिल्डिंग में हम एंटर करते हैं या कुछ घरों में एंटर करते हैं तो थोड़ा सा अनकंफर्टेबल होता है. कुछ जगह पे ऐसा होता है कि डिस्टर्ब स्लीप होती है, मतलब प्रॉपर नींद नहीं लगती है. इवन हमारे रेगुलर घर में भी कई जगह पे हम ऐसा फील करते हैं कि नहीं, उस लोकेशन पे अच्छी नींद नहीं आती है, पता नहीं क्यों. ऐसा होता है कि कभी कभी सडनली हम जब जगह चेंज करते हैं, वी फाइंड द सीरियस सिकनेस, ओके, एंड द हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स मूविंग टू द न्यू होम। एक मैंने कई जगह पे देखा है कि जब लोग नए घर में जाते हैं, और ऐसा जरूरत नहीं हो जगह पे, नए वर्क प्लेस पे थोड़ा सा वो थोड़ा हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स फील करते हैं। एंड कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि पुराने जमाने में डॉक्टर्स बोलते थे अगर आपको कुछ हेल्थ का प्रॉब्लम्स है तो गांव में जाओ या कहीं दूसरी जगह पे जाओ, चेंज द प्लेस सो यू विल फील द बेटर। नहीं तो वर्क प्लेस है, थोड़ा वर्क प्लेस चेंज करो। तो ऐसा क्यों होता है, ये जानने की कोशिश करेंगे। So we all educated about the electromagnetic fields, the EMF, and the dangers of the cell phones, dangers of the computers, microwaves, cell phone towers का dangers हम मालूम है why. We know all the dangers of the electromagnetic field. In fact, we do check the EMF with this kind of the instruments. Okay, these are more of purchase for the only for the research purpose, right? तो ये हमें पता है, right? सो इसके अलावा कुछ रेडिएशंस हैं जो हमें अनकंफर्टेबल कर रहे हैं, ये हमें जानने की कोशिश करेंगे। सो डज it is because of the earth radiations which is commonly known as a geopathic stress, right? So what do you know about geopathic stress? जैसे पूजा जी ने बोला था कि ये टर्म बड़ी काफी बड़ी है, लेकिन कोशिश करेंगे आज समझने की। so let's understand. So geopathic stress is one of the most overlooked natural hazard. Basically, it's a natural hazard है. So geo, अगर हम इस टर्म को दो हिस्से में बांट देंगे तो geo means earth, right? And patho means the suffering. So it is a disease of the earth. So what is meant by the disease of the earth? Okay. So geopathic stress is a general term for the energies emitting from the earth that causes the discomfort and in health for in human being. And since it has a negative impact because at the end of the day it affects the immune system. So जैसे कि अर्थ है, अर्थ is acting as a magnet in the universe, right? So अर्थ के सेंटर में there is a lava. तो जैसे अर्थ घूमता है, so जैसे अर्थ घूमता है generates the electromagnetic current, because lava भी घूमता है, it generates electromagnetic currents, and this electromagnetic currents are shoots up in the environment through the geological faults. ये जब आप नीचे फिगर में देखते हैं, there is a tectonic fault nothing but जब अर्थ फॉर्मेशन होता है तो उसमें गैप्स है, वी कॉल्ड एज अ जियोलॉजिकल फॉल्ट्स। थ्रू दिस जियोलॉजिकल फॉल्ट्स दिस रेडिएशन शूट्स अप इन द एनवायरनमेंट, ओके। एंड उसका इन्फ्लुएंस इतना होता है कि 2 फीट से 200 फीट वाइड तक होता है। कई जगह पे हम जाते हैं, हम मेजर करते हैं कि उसकी चौड़ाई कितनी है, तो लगभग कुछ जगह पे 2 फीट होती है, कुछ जगह पे 10-10 फीट होती है। माना कि पूरा उनका बेड या हॉल पूरा ही उस चौड़ाई में आ जाता है, ओके। और उसकी हाइट कितनी है, तो हाइट 0 फीट से 30 फीट 1000 तक है। मतलब कैसा है कि आप कौन से भी फ्लोर पर रहो, आप ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे है या मे बी 100 फ्लोर, तो इसका इफेक्ट आपको होता है। So what are the various sources of the geopathic stress? The first one is the earth magnetic field, then another is a water path, third is a redundant gases, and the fourth is a man-made interference. आज की तारीख में man-made interferences काफी है. We are exploiting the earth like anything. ये मैंने बताया था कि अभी जस्ट बताया कि अर्थ के मैग्नेटिक फील्ड और अर्थ के लेविटिक मूवमेंट से कैसे हो जाता है। एंड माइंड इट, ये जब शूट होता है, इट कम्स अप लाइक अ लेजर बीम, जैसे से एकदम सीधा सीधा जाता है। कहीं और कई लोग बताते हैं कि उसके जब मैं रेमेडियल मेजर्स में आऊंगा तब बताता हूँ प्रोज एंड कॉन्स, कौन कैसे उसको ले लेते हैं द इम्पैक्ट। बट फॉर योर इंफॉर्मेशन, इट शूट्स अप डायरेक्टली लाइक अ लेजर बीम upwards, okay. So this is a very nice figure. So this person is sleeping here in the bedroom, okay, and from the bottom of the earth there is a earth radiation which shoots up, okay, like this. So this earth radiation, that poor fellow is having the disturbed sleep. Okay. Then another source is a water path. जैसे कि हमारे rock में से there is a water flowing to the rock fractures, right? So when the water is flowing to the rock fractures, again generates a electromagnetic field, and this electromagnetic fields again shoots up to the rock fractures. Okay, this is one thing. Another thing is that if these two water fields which crosses each other, that particular location is very harmful. It is very harmful. Okay, जब हम बताते हैं कि या वाटर डिमाइनर्स जो होते हैं, दे डू फाइंड द वाटर पाथ, राइट? वाटर पाथ फाइंड आउट करने के बाद वो वहां पे बोर का लोकेशन आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, राइट? नथिंग, वो क्या करते हैं, दे फाइंड द वाटर पाथ। इट मींस व्हाट, जहां पे वाटर पाथ है उसके ऊपर जो भी कोई रहता है उसको कम अधिक मात्रा में रेडिएशन का इफेक्ट होगा, राइट? कम अधिक मात्रा में रेडिएशन इफेक्ट होगा। लेकिन जब दो वाटर पाथ एक दूसरे को मिलते हैं, दैट पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन इज अ गुड लोकेशन फॉर गेटिंग द वाटर सोर्स, राइट? जब हम फील्ड पे जाते हैं, वी डू आइडेंटिफाई सच काइंड ऑफ लोकेशंस, क्योंकि दैट्स अ टू वाटर सोर्सेस मीटिंग ईच अदर, राइट? सो दैट्स अ गुड वाटर सोर्स। सो ये व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दिस ऑल दिस थिंग्स, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी कई जगह पे ऐसे होता है कि वाटर डिमाइनर्स को बुलाया जाता है टू आइडेंटिफाई द लोकेशन फॉर द बोरवेल। तो उसी समय इनडायरेक्टली ये स्टडी हो जाता है कि कहाँ पे जियोपैथिक स्ट्रेस का लाइंस है। दिस फॉर्म्स अ गाइडलाइन की वो आइडिया मिल जाती है। सेकेंडली, इफ यू कनेक्ट टू द वास्तु, कई जगह पे बोलते हैं कि नहीं, वेल के इस दिशा में मत रहो, इस दिशा में अगर रहेंगे तो हेल्थ को हैजर्ड होगा। तो इसका साइंटिफिक रीजन क्या है? व्हाई इट इज गेटिंग द हेल्थ हैजर्ड? बिकॉज कि वहां से वाटर पाथ जा रही है। Since there is a movement of the water path, because of that it is affecting, because of the geopathic stress, it is affecting to your health, right? This is a scientific reason behind why in the vastu people do say, okay, यहाँ bore के या well के यहाँ पे कौन सा, I don't follow the directions of the vastu, okay, but इसके नजदीक घर नहीं होना चाहिए या बेड नहीं होना चाहिए। okay, another thing is that अगर हम वाटर पाथ की बात करते हैं तो वाटर पाथ इज अ वैरिंग डेप्थ है। सो ऊपर से 60 फीट तक अगर वाटर पाथ है वो इतना, दैट इज नॉट ए हार्मफुल, बट द वाटर पाथ बिटवीन द 60 फीट एंड द 60 meters and the 90 meters below the surface, that is harmful to the us. Okay, source is a radon gas. So earth's natural background radioactivity is concentrated along the certain geological faults, mineral veins, and the water bearing fissures. So geopathic stress theory is primarily concerned with the radon 222. Since in the mid 1980s, US Environmental Protection Agency and the UK Radiological Protection Board, they do conduct the national survey for identification of the radon levels in the house. And what they have found that in the UK, the 90,000 homes contain the air contaminated, means their homes are affected because of the radon gases. And there is a statistics that 1 in 8 American homes, people were breathing the air dangerously contaminated by the radon, right? Then the lastly that even because why this is happening, because everything is a glazing and all. And mind it, our workplaces are like such, we are working in a very close environment where there are the centralized AC at the certain places. So at that particular places, there's a possibility for having the more and more radon gases. Okay, this is what the observation in the US and the UK. That's why this is all linked with the Agnihotra. How Agnihotra से कैसे इसका impact कम हो जाएगा, right? On the last and most important here is a man-made sources, right? So deep foundation, क्योंकि हम इतने especially the Mumbai areas में, even the Gujarat, Ahmedabad, the metro cities में, we are going for the deep foundations because we are going for the very high-rise buildings. Once we are going for the high-rise, we are going very deep into the soil, right? कई जगह पे the -6 मतलब 6 level के basement ground के नीचे है. So that much we are doing the excavation, that much we are affecting our mother earth, right? So the basements another second, the tunneling, tunnel जैसे कि हम tunnels करते हैं, the metro lines and all, it also affect the natural rock structure. Okay, और mind it, जहाँ पे हम टनल कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे बेसमेंट है, वहाँ पे अगर जियोलॉजिकल फॉल्ट है और वहां से अगर ये रेडिएशन ऊपर आते हैं तो इट्स गेट डिस्टॉर्टेड. ओके, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ डिस्टॉर्टेड इम्पैक्ट, उसका डिस्टॉर्शन की वजह से उसका इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा हो जाता है. सो अंडरग्राउंड ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम, दैट्स अ मेट्रो. So it has been observed in a UK. So wherever there are the metro systems, the building adjoining the metro systems, many people are affected because of the geopathic stress. So this is a very alarming situation in case of the Mumbai, when there already there is a work of the underground metros are going on. Okay, then the quarries, right? So wherever there are quarries, the adjoining areas, there is even the areas above the quarries are affected because of the geopathic stress. Okay. So this is a very simple schematic of structure where the geopathic lines are passing below the house. Even the geopathic lines are passing across the road. It has been observed in Pune. There is one good research group in Pune who is already working on the geopathic stress, especially on the areas of the accidents. Okay, so what they have observed, that wherever there is a geopathic line which is passing through the roads, okay, at that particular portions of the highway, they are much prone for the accidents. Okay, they are scientifically proved why it is happening, right? Then you might have seen that the extreme left, you can see the trees, okay, with a swollen thing. Okay, that is nothing but a tumor to the tree. Okay, so if you see that particular tree or location, so that tree is affected by the geopathic stress. Okay, yeah. So this is what is a typical urban building, or any building. What I should call it the urban building or any building. So on the underground there is a water path. So area above the water path is affected because of the radiations. Okay. Apart from this, the Earth has a very natural geomagnetic grids. Okay, and these grids are from the north to south and east to west. And mind it, from these grids, very strong radiations comes up, especially in the midnight from the 12 to 3 a.m. right, and it is weakest during the 5 p.m. and they are influenced by the earthquakes, weather conditions, and are weaker in the fog. Let's understand this. So what is the impact? What is the impact of these grid lines? It increases the positive ions. This is again linked with the Agnihotra. We'll discuss. So keep it in mind, because of this radiations, there are more and more positive ions. Then it creates a differences in the blood sedimentation rate and increase the gamma radiations. I got an instrument by which I do measure the gamma radiations. Then a lot of research has been carried out in this particular area. So there are different kinds of the grids. The first grid is a Hartmann grid, another is a Curry grid, and the Ley grid. Okay, let's understand this one by one. Okay, so this Hartmann grid was identified by the Dr. Hartmann. Basically, he's a German. He's from the Germany. He's a medical doctor and geobiologist who discovered this grid. Okay, so there is a mystery how, because being a doctor, why he has searched all these things, because he has found that there is a certain linkage between the geopathic stress and the patients which he was observing. Okay, which he was treating rather. And there was a long drive in Germany. So at certain areas and certain locations, so many people were affected because of the cancer. So there was a mystery why at that particular location people are affected because of the cancer. So luckily at the same instance, there was a hydrogeological exploration was going on for the infra projects, where they found that there is a certain geological faults. So then the Dr. Hartmann connected, then carried out the further research, And then he found that because of the geological faults, these radiations are coming up, and the people who are residing there, they are affected because of these radiations. Okay, this is how he linked up. And then further he found that this uh, basically these grid lines are oriented from the north-south direction at a 2-meter intervals. So everywhere there is a grid lines, okay, and 2-meter intervals from the north-south, and 2.5-meter intervals from the east to west direction. Another thing is that all these 2 meter, that 2.5 meters are not important to us, but there are certain double grid lines or knots. We call it as a knots. So there it is happening at the interval of a 35 meters, right? So every 35-meter interval, there is a very serious line which is passing through the earth, which is affecting, which are emitting the radiations. Okay, and again, when these two grid lines intersect each other, then it's a harmful to the health. So similarly, Dr. Curry identified the grid lines, but he's identified the grid lines in the diagonal directions. Okay. Then another, there is a ley lines. So ley lines are the natural lines which is passing to the earth. Okay, and if you see this image, so there is a natural ley lines which is passing from the north to the south. Okay, and if you see here, there is a all important temples like a Kedarnath, Kaleshwaram, Chidambaram, and the Rameshwaram, which are on the same line, right? These are all formed on the ley lines. Okay, so there is a definitely connectivity between from the north to the south, right? Another thing is that because this is all the scientifically based, so and everything is given in the very good literature. Okay, so I have found in a Mansur literature, which is which is published in the 6th and 7th century, and it comprises of the 5,400 verses and organized in totally in 70 chapters. Okay, so where the guidelines, they have given the guidelines. Basically, it is based for the architecture. So they have given the guidelines. The structures should be parallel to the north and south or east or west. Okay, so that's why if you see the structure here or a plot or layout, so if this building is perfectly to north and south in a grid lines, east-west grid lines, so it is called as a Shuddha Prachi. So this is term they used to have a Shuddha Prachi. With a little bit inclination, it is called as Isa Prachi. Okay. And if you see, then I started looking after the old temples, right? This is Somnath temple. The Somnath temple is perfect, the Isa Prachi, right? So they were very much clever, right? Because you know why? If you align yourself to these natural grid lines, you will take the much more advantage of this natural grid line. Because mind it, all the radiations emitting from the natural grid lines, all the radiations are not harmful. Okay, there's a certain positive energy radiates, especially in the morning time. So that's why the Brahma Muhurta, morning time जब हम उठते हैं या 5 या 4:30 या 3:30 बजे से लेके 5:30 बजे तक जब हम योग करते हैं, ध्यान करते हैं, जब when we sit in a particular position, particular direction, we get a very nice energy. That's a natural telluric energy which is coming from the earth, right? So same advantage hota hai. Abhi, if you see the Somnath temple, it is perfect Isa Prachi, right? Then the Raigad fort, see the old people, they were very, very clever, right? Perfect building ka orientation वैसे ही है. Then the Shivneri fort, perfect. Then the Tirupati temple, little bit inclination, but mind it, इसमें भी science है. If you have a little bit inclination, it will have a monetary gain. You believe it or not, but it has a certain monetary gain, and the Tirupati temple is the best example of that. So if you want, if you want to have a new construction, so is this so tilted with a certain degrees, okay, and then you'll definitely will have a monetary benefit. And this I've seen for the so many structures like a corporate people, corporate buildings. Once I've been to the Hiranandani house. If you're from Mumbai, everyone knows that Hiranandani. It's a big construction house. Okay, so and what I found, all the buildings in the Hiranandani, that particular head office and the adjoining areas are perfectly with a little bit inclination. That's a Isa Prachi. Okay, with little bit inclination. Then I discussed with Mr. Niranjan Hirananda, the boss. Okay, so sir, all your buildings are little bit inclination, maybe the by fluke or maybe the accidents, but you all people or corporates having setting this building are doing very well. So this is something you are getting the very good monetary benefit. This is a natural benefit. Okay, natural earth's benefit which they are getting, right? Then he said, yes, I know. So all the buildings in this particular line, they are performing well. ऐसे कभी होता है, देखिए, if you visit at certain places, एक लाइन होती है, एक स्ट्रीट होता है जो परफेक्ट बहुत अच्छा पैसा बनाता है, राइट? ओके, बहुत अच्छा business is there. Okay, so as a curiosity, you can even check उसका angle क्या है, उसका orientation कैसा है. Okay, then not only in the Hinduism, but also this is from the Makkah Medina. This is also again perfectly into the north-south direction, Isa Prachi, right? Then the Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is also into perfect Isa Prachi. Then your Haji Ali Dargah. Haji Ali Dargah is also perfect. So they have taken the benefit of the natural earth. Okay. Then this is Ajmer Dargah. Okay. So ancient people have planned, okay, the structures accordingly. Okay. And the Roman also oriented all the buildings in their villages, towns, and city with respect to the BEM. BEM nothing but bioelectromagnetic fields. Okay, bioelectromagnetic fields is nothing but these grid lines. If you align your things with north, south, east, west, then perfectly this is a natural grid lines. Okay. This you must have seen at certain places. Okay, so this is a Menhis megalithes. It's dotting the surface of the earth from far east of the island. The built were 4,000 years ago. Okay, and this specifically stones are located at such a negative energy points where there is an intersection of two grid lines. Okay, at that particular location, these stones were laid, and it is believed that this stones, laying of the stones, has reduced the negative energy. Okay. Then we need a holistic planning so that our health should be protected. Let's understand the history and the background of the geopathic stress. So 4,000 years ago, Chinese knew the harmful effects of the geopathic stress. In a Feng Shui, Chinese called a geopathic stress name as the vents or the dragon, and the claws of the dragon or the dragon lines or underground demons, and avoided buildings, houses on the stressful places, right? The Chinese Emperor Huang Wu proclaimed an edict, and effectively to this day, which reads like no dwelling shall be built until the earth diviners have confirmed the intended building site are free from the earth demons. मतलब चाइना में 4,000 साल पहले से ये है कि ऐसे पूरा properly they should do the survey, and after doing the survey only they should construct the building. Okay. In ancient India, would test the area's new building by allowing the grazing of the cow. मतलब वहाँ पे पहले कैसे होता कि cow को करो grazing करो, अगर 3 months में उनको कुछ problem नहीं होता, that's the best site for the residing. Okay. So ancient Romans would test the areas for the new building by allowing the sheep to graze. Okay. So every country has their own methodology for doing the soil investigation or doing the soil testing. So let's understand the professional research into this field, right? So the first study was carried out in Germany in 1920s, okay, by von Pohl. So it's what he has studied. There's a 90% of all the cancer cases has a connection to the geostress. Okay. Then Dr. Hartmann is a German medical doctor, geobiologist. He concluded the cancer is a disease of the location. It should be noted that cancer is disease of the location. I'll cover this in a case studies how I have detected as well. Okay. So the Dr. Curry, German-born American scientist, physician and medical doctor, and the biochemist searched several houses where the cancer patients have previously lived. Okay. Dr. Otto, the professor at the University of the Vienna. So they formed a group in the Vienna. So they carried out the two years very extensive research in this particular field, where 4,62,000 measurements were done and 6,942 tests were carried out. So he found that the geopathic stress affect the blood sedimentation, the blood pressure, blood circulation, heartbeats, breathing effects, then skin resistance, the electrical conductivity of the muscle points. Okay. Then the World Health Organization, they have also studied and found that 30% of the office, hotels, and institutions are in they're given in the terms as the sick building syndromes. Okay, so 30% buildings are the identified as sick building syndromes. Then in Austria, bachelor, she surveyed the 3,000 apartments and over 11,000 people, and discovered that 100% correlations between the geopathic stress and the 500 cases of the cancer. And Mr. Melvin Kelvin, the American Nobel Prize winner, he also studied the effect of the geopathic stress, and he studied, along with other things, the effect of the carcinogenic tar on the skin of the hamsters, and found that the hamster did not develop cancer as anticipated until they were kept in a geopathic stress places. Okay. Then the Dr. Veronica, she was the wife of former German president. Healing of 700 terminal cancer patients after they relocated their beds to an area. Here I will share one of the case when this is the very first case which I detected. Okay, so I started this study as a passion, right? So very first case when I visited, I was called by one royal family, the very rich family of the Mumbai, to check their place. Okay, so they didn't inform what happened to them. Okay, in fact, they were the one of the trustee of the Hinduja hospital. Okay, so they called me and they said, okay, do your testing. Okay, then I studied. Okay, so it is a very acid test for me, being a first thing. Then I said, okay, the radiation's magnitude as such that it is affecting. It will result the diabetics followed with the cancer. Okay. Then suddenly she said, yeah, you are right. My mom has been detected earlier with the diabetics and now she is detected with the cancer. That will last stage. Then what happened? Then we looked another places where there is no radiations. Okay, and mind it that the age of that particular lady was 76 with a high last stage cancer was detected. And then we relocated. We immediately relocated her to the place where there is no radiations. Okay, and mind it, since they were doing the cancer treatment from their own hospitals, after reshifting to the non-radiation place, her response to the cancer treatment was much improved, because you know what happened. It was very much touching, because every time I share this case, because that's very touching to my heart, because it's a third stage cancer and her husband is of 82 age, and we sat down in the hall and he said, okay, Vinay bhai, kya hoga, kaise hai? Then I said, let's we change the place, and he could just put his hand on my shoulders. See, doctors have given the hope, and they said, okay, call all the relatives. So we are calling the relatives, and it's the last stage. Then I said, okay, let's keep a hope. We will change to the non-radiation area, and let's see what will happen. Then 2 months back, after 2 months, they called me, and that particular lady was literally walking. Okay, so that was the best part. After shifting to the another places, non-radiation places, she recovered very well. Okay, of course her age was 76, and she survived for the 2 years after that. Okay, that's the best part because of non-shifting. Mind it, ये इस पॉइंट पे मुझे थोड़ा सा बोलना है, अगर यही बात उनको अगर कैंसर डिटेक्ट होने से पहले पता होती, तो कैंसर ही नहीं होता था, राइट। उनकी इम्यून सिस्टम ही नहीं खराब होती थी, राइट। तो अगर नहीं तो फर्स्ट स्टेज में ही पता होता तो उनकी लाइफ बढ़ जाती थी, राइट। सो सेम इज ऑब्जर्वेशन विथ दिस डॉक्टर वेरोनिका. सो माइंड इट, अगर ऐसे कोई होता है, आप इफ यू डिटेक्ट एनीवन विद दिस, पहले जमाने में बोलते थे चेंज, जगह चेंज करके देख लीजिए, लेट्स सी. सो नाउ वी हैव टू एडवाइस, ओके थोड़ा सा जगह चेंज करके देख लो, ओके. Then Rolf Gordon, he's in fact I'm working on the same line, okay. Rolf Gordon, okay. Then he's from England, and he spent 24 years of researching why people get the cancer. Don't get panic with it, because I'm repeating the cancer. Don't get panic, no need to panic, okay. Okay. मन चंगा तो सब चंगा, माइंड में एकदम स्ट्रांग करो, कुछ होने वाला है ही नहीं, ऐसा कुछ होता ही नहीं है, सो ओके फॉरगेट इट. बट नेग्लिजेंस भी नहीं होना चाहिए, ये मेरा कहना है. सो कोरिलेटेड द कैंसर विद लंग, ब्रेस्ट एंड cervix with a geostress in 90% of the cases. मैंने भी काफी केसेस देखे कैंसर के. मेरे 15 दिन पहले एक जगह पे गया था, अच्छी खासी फैमिली, 5 साल पहले उन्होंने नया घर लिया, वहां पे शिफ्ट हो गए, एंड देन दे सी नाउ सफरिंग विद द कैंसर, ओके. ऐसे काफी डिसीजेस है, नॉट ओनली द कैंसर, ओके. देन आई चेक द बेड, देन द बेड वाज पर्टिकुलरली अफेक्टेड बाय द जियोपैथिक स्ट्रेस, ओके. एंड पीछे 5 साल से बेचारी वो लेडीज वहां पे सोती हैं. सो it has affected her health, right? Then the next is a Dr. Paul, another researcher, cancer scientist, who again discovered the link with the geopathic stress. And Dr. Rudolf Kessler, he's a naturopath and a geopathologist, demonstrated that the chronic and recurrent disease having a direction correlation to the presence of the geopathic stress in the bedrooms, okay. Ravi Vaidya is my guru. Thank you, Ravi ji. He's from India, so he identified the geopathic stress wavelength of various magnitudes over research of 25 years, and he's visited more than 2,500 household surveys and demonstrated the impact of the geopathic stress on the health. So what I mean to say, a lot of research has been carried out in this particular area, right? Then this is a very good research by the Professor Hans Snipper, who is an MD, then the world-renowned and widely respected cancer specialist who operates one of the largest MS practices in the world, says in a book, Revolution of the Technology, Medicine and the Society. According to the studies I have initiated, at least 92% of all the cancer patients I've examined have remained in a long periods of the time, especially in respect of their sleeping tests, in a geopathic stress zones. And 75% of the multiple sclerosis patients are geopathically stressed, okay. The cancer is a disease of the location. Mind it, he has mentioned the cancer is a disease of the location, and how become widely accepted among the cancer specialists in the Germany and other European countries, right? So on the advice of the geobiologist, patients regularly move to their beds to the safer position where necessary. This is what we did in that particularly the old case. So even in the British preconception care organization, here this is a very good thing, okay. So there they have, okay, if someone wants to get the conceive, it was advised by the gynecologist, okay, look, now you want to get the conceives, please do check whether you're residing in the geopathic stress zone or not. I will share one case study here. एक फैमिली थी, शादी होने के बाद 5 years they were struggling hard for getting the baby, right? So काफी उन्होंने डॉक्टर्स के पास गए, काफी ट्रीटमेंट किया, they went to the mirrors and the long places, but nothing happened. So when, as a curiosity, because he was an engineer at one of the site where I used to visit for my professional assignments. So he used to know that I was doing this kind of the studies. So just curiosity, उसने मुझे बुलाया. I went to his home. मैंने देखा कि क्या है, तो उसका bed was totally affected by the geopathic stress. And mind it, फिर उसको we are given the certain remedial measures, and we also do check the dowsing. Dowsing से पता चला कि yes, there is possibility, क्योंकि जहाँ पे radiations है especially for the ladies, it's difficult to get the consult because of the lot of hormonal changes happening. Okay. uh, then it was known कि मुझे पता था, I was damn confident कि मुझे कि आगे जाके कंसीव होगे एंड बेबी होगा. मैंने उनको उसी समय बोला कि देखिए सिस्टर, यू विल गेट कंसीव एंड आई शुड गेट अ गुड न्यूज विद इन अ ईयर स्पैन. ओके. एंड आफ्टर दैट आई वाज वेटिंग आफ्टर 6 months or 8 months. आई वाज वेटिंग, अरे अभी तक न्यूज क्यों नहीं आया. देन आई हर्ड ओके शी गॉट द कंसीव एंड आफ्टर 1 year बेबी हो गया. ओके. देयर आर सर्टेन केसेस, लॉ बहुत ऐसे केसेस है कि जो there miss certain cases of the miscarriages even by the gynecologist. मेरे सर की very good case study है. The gynecologist, the both doctor, husband and wife, the both doctors. The wife is a gynecologist and the husband is a heart surgeon. Okay. And 3 times miscarriages, 3 times miscarriages. And then finally someone said, okay, show it to the Ravi Vaidya. And then Ravi Vaidya went to their place and they found that, okay, the bed portion, particular bed portion is all the radiations, and the portion where her husband was sleeping, especially the heart portion, there was again the very strong magnitude radioactive wave was passing. Okay. Then उन्होंने curiosity पूछा, आपके husband कहाँ पे है? Then she said, okay, कल ही उनको थोड़ा सा heart का problem है. Then he is under treatment. And then he said, okay, don't worry, you relocate your bed location and everything will get solved. And that particular lady, she got the baby after that. Okay. So there are several case studies here. Even my home, right? जब मैंने स्टडी चालू किया तो मेरे घर पे मैंने देखा कि नहीं, जहाँ मेरे बेड में रेडिएशंस थे, स्पेशली बेटा जहाँ पे सोता है, देयर वाज अ ब्रेन हैमरेज वेव. सो पता, तो आप सोचिए मुझे कैसा लगा रहेगा कि अरे नहीं, मेरा बेटा जहाँ पे सोता है वहाँ पे ब्रेन हैमरेज की वेव है तो उसका ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट नहीं होगा. एंड जहाँ पे वाइफ सोती थी देयर वाज अ डायबिटिक पेन. ओके. एंड बकायदा उसको शी स्टार्टेड विद थायराइड्स, राइट. So she was under treatment of the thyroid. Then luckily we studied all these things. Then we relocated our bed, and her thyroid, the response to thyroid was good by the medicines, and immediately within 6 months uska thyroid chala gaya. Okay, thanks to medicines. But recovery was after the relocating was good, and there is no diabetic, no nothing. There is no thyroid, no nothing, right? So just by relocating the bed, it happened, right? So Germany and Austria, the sponsored funding projects are there on the geopathic stress. Germany, they are working a lot on the geopathic stress. The school children are advised to relocate frequently their positions in the school. This is a good move, you know. If there is a particularly one row is affected, then it's better to relocate them every after week or every after month, right? Even in my son's school, they keep on changing the benches every week. So Germany, UK, Australia, Switzerland, France, Netherlands, Belgium, Scandinavia, Americans are aware of the geopathic stress. Okay. Even Indians were aware before a British period. Okay. So impact of health on its affect the immune system, ability to fight the virus and bacteria. So I always say it's health is affected by the 3 pillars. There are 3 pillars of health. One is a geopathic stress, another is a prana, and third is a acid alkali balance of the food. Okay. So one pillar is a geopathic stress. This we are dealing today. Okay. There are various list of the harmful wavelengths like diabetes, pancreas, cancers, serious illness, brain waves, inflation of the nerve system. The list is long. Okay. There are various stages of the geopathic stress. Okay. I'm not a doctor. Okay. But I will try to explain how it's affected. Okay. So those who are doctor, I think even my sister, Manisha, forgive me if I'm doing some mistakes, if I spell something wrong. Okay. Or something, even there is, I think 2-3 doctors are also attending. Okay. So I will explain in a very simple thing how it's affected with the body health. Okay, there are several million neurons. There are several million neurons, and some neurons are called as neurotransmitters. Okay, so there are two neurotransmitters which I know, which are key. That's a GABA, that's a gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay, and what is the function of the gamma? Is to keep you calm down. Okay, so if a person is a calm down, it means his gamma is working very well. But if he's disturbed, it means his gamma is not working well. Okay, this is what I understood. Then another neurotransmitter is a serotonin. The function of the serotonin is secretes a chemical is known as a melatonin. Okay. Although what is the function of the melatonin? It acts as antitoxicants and it also acts as a anti-cancers. Okay. So the person who is affected by the cancer, it means there is something disturbance with his melatonin. Okay. Apart from this, there is a good connection between at the bottom of the brain, there is hypothalamus. The hypothalamus to the spinal cord is connected to the adrenal medulla, which is located on the top of the kidneys. Okay, so adrenal medulla secretes the chemical known as cortisol, and the function of the cortisol is to act as a marshalling for the kidney, heart, secretion of the diabetes, signature of the glucose, then your digestive system, then the hormonal changes. Okay, all these are being marshaled by the cortisol. So what is happening? Okay, because of this radiation, this function of the cortisol gets disturbed and our immune system gets disturbed. Okay. Then there is a lymphatic fluid. This is very important again, and this is again how the Agnihotra helps in improving the lymphatic system. We'll see. Okay, the lymphatic fluid is a transport the lymphocytes and the antibodies which are continuously patrolling through the body. Okay, ready to fight and destroy the foreign cells such as bacteria versus cancer cells. So the geopathic stress has a strong effect on the correct functioning of the lymphatic systems. If the lymphatic system is not healthy, it is unable to destroy the foreign cells and thus enabling the cancer cells to grow and multiply. In other words, the whole immune system is weakened. Okay. Another thing is that assimilation of the nutrients from the intestines into the lymph and the blood stream depends on the polarizations. Keep it in mind, polarization of the electrical charges. So polarization affects the lymphatic systems, right? So one side of the cell member is a positive charge and other side is a negative charge. Okay, so nutrients are transported from the intestine to the lymph and the bloodstream when the positive charges are allowed to re-enter the cell, right? So geopathic stress disturbs this cells activity. This disturbs this polarity. Okay, and the geopathic stress are traditionally referred to the positive ion fields and created by the noxious frequency from the underground flowing. A geopathic stress is imbalance of the positive ion field. I will repeat. Okay, geopathic. Sometimes हमें ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं positive ion ज़्यादा है तो it's very good. It's a positive, right? But it's not a positive. It's a negative, right? For the health. Okay, but geopathic stress affect this, and the positive ions lead to the unhealthy cell growth, which compromise the body immune systems, leading to the varying elements of such as tumors, cancer, leukemia on the extreme scale. So we need to live in a negative ion balance, which maintains the healthy oxygen levels. Keep it in mind, okay? So we need to live in a negative ion balance, which maintains the healthy oxygen levels, promoting the healthy cell growth, healthy states of mind, and the overwhelming or overall well-being. Okay. Now, how it is linked with the Agnihotra? Okay. So Agnihotra creates some more and more negative ions. Okay. Agnihotra creates more negative ions. For this, I brought this passionately. This is a ion counter, right? This I brought it from the US with the $600. So I brought this. जो मैंने उसके लिए funds reserve किया था. I spent lot $1,000 मैंने खर्चा किया अलग-अलग instruments के ऊपर. But it worked. Okay. So उसी समय मैंने पास 4 साल पहले घर में अग्निहोत्र चालू किया था. I wanted to check because Agnihotra, because मैंने research में पढ़ा था, research papers में पढ़ा था, because of the Agnihotra, it increased the negative ions. But तो being a hardcore researcher मुझे कुछ करना है, मुझे तो मैं कैसे आपके सामने बोलूँगा, right? So I brought this thing I've checked because of things, because घर पे रोज ही चल रहा था, मॉर्निंग टाइम मैंने देखा अग्निहोत्र करने से पहले, अग्निहोत्र करने के बाद तो नेगेटिव आयंस बढ़े। तो राइट, सो जहाँ पे अग्निहोत्र हो रहा है, तो जैसे कि जहाँ पे अग्निहोत्र होता है वहां पे हेल्थ के कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं होते, तो वहां पे नेगेटिव आयंस काफी बढ़ जाता है, राइट। तो ऑटोमेटिकली ऑक्सीजन भी वहां हो जाता है। जहाँ पे नेगेटिव आयंस बढ़ता है तो वहां पे लिम्फेटिक सिस्टम का फंक्शनिंग बहुत अच्छा होता है। तो आपने को मालूम है लिम्फेटिक सिस्टम हाउ मच इज इम्पोर्टेंट, राइट। So these are the certain observations of the field of the lines of the how the radiations are passing and affecting our health. So ये काफी studies है, तो कैसे apartment के studies करते हैं. These are the cross diagonal lines are the Curry lines, and these are the fault, geological fault है, and these are the water path है. Then the if you see the extreme left bottom, वहाँ पे exactly bed है, और वो बेड के वहां से पास ऑन हो रहा है, तो डेफिनेटली उसको कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स होगा। इवन द हॉल सिटिंग एरिया इज अफेक्टेड, सो वी कैन चेंज द रीओरिएंटेशन ऑफ द थिंग एंड माइंड इट। This is again the same chart. The three pillars of the health is first one is a prana, that's oxygen, and then the diet and the acid alkali balance in the pH balance and the geopathic stress. So way forward, first अगर हमें अभी आपकी काफी क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे तो उसका इलाज क्या है, राइट। तो मैंने ऑलरेडी बताया कि जो ये अपना अग्निहोत्र करो काफी अच्छा इंप्रूवमेंट होगा। फर्स्ट मैंने जब स्टडी चालू किया था जियोपैथिक स्ट्रेस से, मैंने पहले बोलता था कि रिलोकेट द बेड, ओके, then provide the insulation sheets. There are certain insulation sheets which prevents movement of the which prevents the uplift movement of the radiation. Then the cosmic energy, अग्निहोत्र मुझे काफी रिसर्च करने के बाद पता चला इट्स अ वेरी गुड थिंग टू रिड्यूस द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द जियोपैथिक स्ट्रेस। क्योंकि कैसा है ना, देखिए कि हम ऐसा नहीं होता कि क्योंकि हम काफी छोटे छोटे घर है कि नॉट नेसेसरी वी कैन रीलोकेट, घर भी बदल नहीं सकते क्योंकि उतना पैसा भी नहीं है, बेड का डायरेक्शन भी नहीं कर चेंज कर सकते क्योंकि उतनी जगह भी नहीं है, राइट। रेडिएशंस है, ऐसे भी नहीं है कि हमारे पास इंसुलेशन सीट्स अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं। तो उस केस में क्या है, तो मैंने सोचा कि अरे उस केस में तो अग्निहोत्र है, अगर सुबह शाम अगर करते हैं तो अच्छे खासे नेगेटिव आयंस मिलते हैं, तो बेटर है ना कि कहाँ कहाँ हम शीट्स डालेंगे, राइट। सो ये करने से, क्योंकि कैसा होता है ना, हम खाली बेड की जगह पे शीट्स डाल सकते हैं क्योंकि नाइट में काफी रेडिएशंस आते हैं। सो इनफैक्ट रात में more and more cell developments happens, but if in case of the geopathic cells, the cells development gets affected, okay, but if ready अग्निहोत्र is there, so उसका effect कम हो जाता है। So negative ion generating devices, अभी क्या है ना कि there are certain devices, there are instruments available in the market which generate the negative ions, okay, वो भी मैंने लेके आया घर पे to check the things, okay, but अग्निहोत्र इतना ट्रेडिशनल से है तो क्यों हम उसके ऊपर डिपेंडेंट रहे, right। So then the crystals are there. In fact, in 2014, I think so. Yeah, 2014, the Central Public Works Department has issued a guidelines that this study should be carried out while constructing the new residence. So this is kind of the study we do carry out. So again, the same thing, the passion that the instrument, the right, if you see the right hand, I've done the research on that particular instrument. Very few people use that particular instrument. It is called as a proton magnetometer. We do check the gamma rays, okay, which is coming from the earth, and based on the numbers of the gamma rays, we say, okay, this is a affected area. On the left hand side, there is a, of course, the picture is not much clear. There is a Leaker antenna. With the help of the Leaker antenna, we do check the location of the geopathic stress. Okay, this is again field photos from the field. Then somewhere in the presentation I mentioned that when there is a geopathic stress lines passes through the road, there are more and more accidents happening. So in fact the soil properties are changing because of the geopathic stress. Okay, so this is a very good research carried out by Pune. If you Google up the Pune and the geopathic stress, you will get a lot of literature. So these are the site planning, how we do the plan. We identify the north-south directions and water path, tectonic fault, and then accordingly we do the plannings. Okay, this is Shuddha Prashi, and if you build with a certain degrees, and if you want a monetary benefit, yes, you can have a certain degrees inclination. The site planning, this is a for one particular site. It's an advantage, you know, if you provide the protection at the ground level, it gives the protection for the total building, right? Then Agnihotra. Okay, last few slides. I'll not take much time, but so people who live in the geopathic stress zones are highly polluted areas. Sometimes, you know, and areas experience in increase because of जहाँ पे geopathic stress होता है, the body natural equilibrium is get disturbed, right? तो जब मैंने रिसर्च कर रहा था अग्निहोत्र पे, of course it's a 7,500 years old, right? तो पता चला कि अरे वहां पे जंगल्स में ऐसा क्या होता है कि कौन सी पोल्यूशन है कि जिसके लिए वो अग्निहोत्र कर रहे हैं। तो पता चला दो चीज के लिए अग्निहोत्र कर रहा है। ओके, फर्स्ट, जितना कुछ भी अगर नॉमिनल पोल्यूशन है वो निकालने के लिए, एंड माइंड इट, मुंबई में मेट्रो सिटीज में इतना पोल्यूशन है तो कितना मात्रा में अग्निहोत्र लगेगा टू रिड्यूस दैट पोल्यूशन, ओके, टू काउंटर दैट पोल्यूशन। सेकंड थिंग इज दैट द बॉडी ऑसिलेशन, क्योंकि अगर मुझे ध्यान करना है, साधना करना है, राइट, सो बॉडी ऑसिलेशंस है, द बॉडी कैसे कि उनको मालूम था कि बिकॉज ऑफ सर्टेन थिंग द बॉडी ऑसिलेशन गेट्स डिस्टर्ब, राइट, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द अग्निहोत्र the body equilibrium get balance. Okay, that's a good advantage of the Agnihotra. Okay, and so it's scientifically, all scientifically proved. Okay, so that's why अगर आप कौन से भी मंदिर में जाते हैं तो वहां पे हवन कुंड है, तो हवन कुंड इज नथिंग बट अ स्कैनर, राइट? तो आपकी ऑटोमेटिकली जहाँ पे आप वैसे ही जाते हैं तो हवन कुंड में मॉर्निंग में भी वहां पे अग्निहोत्र होता रहेगा। तो जैसे कि आप वहां से जाते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली योर बॉडी इज गेटिंग स्कैन, योर बॉडी नेचुरल इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन इज गेट, अगर कुछ डिस्टॉर्टेड है तो नेचुरली बैलेंस हो रहा है, एंड देन यू आर एंटरिंग टू द टेंपल, राइट? तो क्या सिस्टम है देखिए, टेंपल में जाते से ही हवन कुंड है, हवन कुंड से जाते से आपकी बॉडी स्कैन हो रही है, आगे जा रहे आप पूरा मेंटली बॉडी भी perfect हो रहा है, and then you take the darshan of the god. Okay, so Agnihotra, again, second is Agnihotra, this is the entropy of the human body by increasing the intake of the prana. So instant flow of the prana through the chakra systems without any blockades generates the sufficient wave activity from the alpha to the gamma waves in the brain to maintain the good health, right? The smoke of the Agnihotra fire shows the higher content of the negative ions. This is already, there was any research. Then I also checked with this instrument. So it generates some more negative ions. And by introducing the extra oxygen to the bloodstream, cancer cells become 3 times more sensitive to the treatment like radiotherapy. Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. What we have seen earlier, because of the geopathic cells, there are more for possibility of the cancer. Why the more possibility of the cancer? Because the immune system is getting disturbed. Okay, so basically your immune system is getting disturbed. That's why you are most prone to the cancer. But because of the this Agnihotra, what is happening? There is the extra oxygen in the blood system. The cancer cells become 3 times more sensitive to the treatment like a radiotherapy. So everyone cannot afford the radiotherapy, and radiotherapy is too costly and too मतलब काफी तकलीफ होती है जो पेशेंट्स लेते हैं, राइट? सो पहले से अगर हम ये करते तो नौबत ही नहीं आएगी, राइट? सो रिसर्च आल्सो सजेस्ट दैट it can improve the delivery of the chemotherapy drugs to the tumor and increase the body stem cell. तो जहाँ पे मैं विजिट करता हूँ, जहाँ पे अगर कोई कैंसर पेशेंट्स है तो मैं इनको बकायदा बोलता हूँ कि नहीं, देखिए आपके साथ आज जो ट्रीटमेंट चल ही रही है, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ आप अग्निहोत्र कर लीजिए, तो कीमो को जो ट्रीटमेंट चल रहा है उसके ऊपर आपका रिस्पॉन्स, बॉडी रिस्पॉन्स काफी अच्छा रहेगा और उनके हीलिंग भी अच्छी रहेगी, क्योंकि कीमो में काफी तकलीफ होती है लोगों को। ओके, then Agnihotra fumes include the lalostanol ether, I don't know, then which was recently reported to have an inhibitory effect against the breast cancer mediated bone destruction by blocking the vicious cycle between the cancer cells. So osteoblasts and the osteoclasts and element B element, which was reported to have anti-lung cancer activity, was found to reduce the side effects of the chemotherapy. Okay, so in a nutshell, it reduces the chemotherapy. Then the Dr. Hopkins of the France, the smoke is he has studied the smoke produced by the burning of the mixture of the ghee kills the germs of the certain disease. Inhaling it from some distance induces the secretion from the certain glands related to the windpipe that fill our heart and mind with a relaxation. So the fumes that are liberated during the combustion of the ghee help to protect the respiratory systems and facilitate the removal of the blood clots and the bacterial infections in the nasal passage, lungs, and the veins. Okay, and the Americans psychologist Barry Lather, who conducted extensive research in Agnihotra in Pune, he said that Agnihotra has a distinctive effect on the environment and a healing effect on the human mind. Okay, so this is all. So we want to have a geopathic stress-free homes, and if you want to have geopathic stress-free homes, then one of the best remedial measure is Agnihotra, क्योंकि सदियों से चलता आ रहा है, सदियों से चलता आ रहा है. माधव आश्रम से वापस उसको रिवाइव हो रहा है, and कहीं जगह पे अभी हो रहा है. That's a good sign. So thank you very much for your kind attentions, and the floor is now open. आपकी जो भी questions है, the queries है.
Question, though we have others also, like we talked of geopathic stress is something below the earth, which is not visible to us. And we are doing Agnihotra above the earth where we are living, right? So, though I could understand it helps in producing more negative ions, which helps us to breathe more. So how come like I can't find a connection between geopathic stress, which is down, and Agnihotra, which is we are performing up? Like वो connection I couldn't make out. क्या है वो?
Okay. देखिए इसका indirect impact क्या है कि जैसे कि because of the radiation there are more and more positive ions, right? ये impact हो गया जियोपैथिक स्ट्रेस का. जब आप अग्निहोत्र करते हैं तो यू जनरेट द मोर नेगेटिव आयंस, तो उसका वो बैलेंस हो जाता है. दिस इज अ इनडायरेक्ट डायरेक्ट कनेक्शंस. ओके, आपको दिखाई नहीं देता है रेडिएशन का इम्पैक्ट अनलेस एंड अनटिल उसको आपके हेल्थ के ऊपर कुछ होता है.
अच्छा विनय जी, मेरा अपना एक्सपीरियंस है. लाइक वी इनवाइटेड समवन टू चेक द जियो स्ट्रेस. तो हमारे घर में 2 पॉइंट्स मिले. उन 2 पॉइंट्स पे आई कुड नॉट सिट. मतलब बहुत टाइम से ऐसा था, वहां सोफा पड़ा था मेरा पर्सनली, आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज द लिंक, मतलब सेंसिटिविटी ज्यादा है या कुछ है, आई कुड नॉट सिट देयर. वहां मैं 5 मिनट भी नहीं बैठी होंगी पूरे टाइम स्पैन में. और इन माय बेडरूम देयर इज अ स्मॉल मंदिर, वी यूज्ड टू डू अग्निहोत्रा सिंस लाइक बहुत साल से कर रहे हैं हम. तो मे बी उस वजह से वो इम्पैक्ट उतना नहीं है. People, I have seen many people suffering, as you told ना, कि घर शिफ्ट किया and they started having, अब इतने बड़े अच्छे घरों में रह के लोग they are so unwell. So
I have seen जैसे आपने जिक्र किया कि बड़े अच्छे घर दिखते तो अच्छे हैं, लेकिन जब मैं देखता हूँ ना, आई एम हेल्पलेस. मतलब बेसमेंट्स है, सब कुछ है, अच्छा है, बड़ा अपार्टमेंट है, बट एवरीथिंग इज अफेक्टेड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रेडिएशन. क्योंकि देखिए एग्जांपल ऑफ द स्प्रिंग क्या होता है ना, सी जब रेडिएशन ऊपर आते हैं सो 7.86 हर्ट्ज के फ्रीक्वेंसी है, राइट? उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी स्टैंडर्ड फ्रीक्वेंसी, तो वो अपने हेल्थ को इम्पैक्ट नहीं करते, राइट? बट टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ द स्प्रिंग. ओके, वो 7.86 हर्ट्ज की है फ्रीक्वेंसी, लेकिन उसको आप जैसे थोड़ा सा डिस्टर्ब किया तो स्प्रिंग क्या होता है, उसका डिस्टर्ब हो गया. तो सिमिलरली इम्पैक्ट होता है यहाँ पे, राइट? जब घर बनते हैं तो हम वास्तव में वो अच्छी खासी रेजोनेंस या फ्रीक्वेंसी को डिस्टर्ब करते हैं, एंड दैट डिस्टॉर्टेड फ्रीक्वेंसी इज अफेक्टिंग हेल्थ. इसलिए जब मुझे देखता हूँ हाई राइज टावर्स, मुझे पीटी लगता है कि इतने बड़े पैसे देके जहाँ पे वहां पे रहते हैं, बट health, I don't know what will happen to their health. Yeah. And another thing is that you must have noticed, because you're working on the same field, try to check the cosmic energy, right? कुछ जगह पे ऐसे होती है, we do also check the cosmic energy. So ऐसी जगह पे होती है कि वहाँ पे automatically healing energy होती है, और some places there is a charging kind of energy. कुछ जगह पे देखिए आप बैठने से you'll get charge, आप बैठने से कुछ अच्छा फील होता है। और कभी कभी उस पर्टिकुलर जगह पे आप सोएंगे नहीं तो बैठेंगे ना, तो वहां पे हीलिंग एनर्जी, आपका काफी अच्छी हीलिंग एनर्जी होती है। सो व्हाट वी डू व्हेन वी विजिट दिस, ऐसे ऐसे कुछ जगह पे देखे, देन आई डू सर्च वैसे चार्जिंग वाली एनर्जी। ज्यादा परेशान है या आपको कुछ हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स है तो प्लीज वहां पे ना वो चार्जिंग वाले एनर्जी पे बैठ दीजिए।
कि हिंदू रिचुअल्स का क्या साइंटिफिक एस्पेक्ट है, एक्चुअली दिस इज द टाइम टू शेयर। क्योंकि
राइट, एग्जैक्टली।
अननोइंगली पीपल, जैसा आपने बोला कि लोग घर पे अगर नहीं भी करते थे, दे यूज्ड टू गो टू मंदिर्स जहां पे रेगुलर हो रहा है, तो दे आर लाइक गेटिंग दोज वाइब्स। So now need of the hour is to do Agnihotra and align yourself with the nature.
Exactly. Like I have been to the one minority college. Okay. तो वहाँ पे तो even now it's in fact a minority college. वहाँ पे काफी ये है, we can't openly say कि काफी restrictions थे वहाँ पे। even the faculties, नहीं हमारा minority college है, तो काफी वहाँ पे है। तो अभी मुझे प्रेजेंटेशन तो देना है, राइट? आई हैव टू पुट माय वर्ड्स फॉरवर्ड कि क्या है। तो मैंने मैंने आई हैव नॉट सेड द अग्निहोत्र ओवर देयर, ओके। तो जस्ट नाम चेंज किया मैंने, मैजिक स्मोक करके उसको प्रमोट किया। फॉर योर इंफॉर्मेशन, when I visit the most of the time, when I do visit those places, I do a very small एक कर लेता हूँ एग्जाम्पल, उनको बताता हूँ, एक प्रैक्टिकल कर लेता हूँ उनको, ओके। दिस इज वेरी बेसिकली लिंक विद डाउजिंग का है, एंड हाउ द वर्ड्स अफेक्ट, राइट। तो मैं उनको बोलता हूँ ठीक है, अगर कोई मुझे वो पानी लेके आता है, नहीं तो वहां पे बोलता हूँ ठीक है फ्रूट्स लेके आओ, नहीं तो कुछ भी लेके आओ। सो आई टू चेक द व्हाट इज द एनर्जी ऑफ दैट फ्रूट, ओके, और वाटर वॉट एवर कुछ है। तो पानी लेके आते हैं, ठीक है, ये गिलास है उसमें पानी है, ठीक है। तो आई डू चेक इसकी एनर्जी कितनी, पानी की एनर्जी, ऑफ कोर्स पानी की एनर्जी कभी पता चलता है कि 40% एनर्जी, 50%, वॉट एवर द एनर्जी, राइट। तो मैं उनको बोलता हूँ कि ठीक है, अभी एक मंत्र या कुछ भी अच्छे पॉजिटिव वर्ड्स आप करो। हाँ, तो उनको बोलते रख दो हाथ, इसके ऊपर मंत्र बोलो, कुछ भी बोलो, ओम करो, या अच्छा पानी अच्छा पानी अच्छा पानी 3 बार बोलो, ठीक है। एंड माइंड इट दैट वर्ड्स डायरेक्टली इफेक्ट द वाटर इन द ग्लास, ओके। तो मैंने देखा है, मैंने उनको डायरेक्ट बताता हूँ डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन में, नहीं देखिए इसकी वजह से 100% पॉजिटिव एनर्जी हो गई, राइट। देन उसके बाद मैं उनको बोलता है कि ठीक है, अभी वाटर इज 100% पॉजिटिव हो गया, राइट। अभी आप बोलो दिस इज द वेस्ट वाटर, राइट, ये पानी गंदा है, इससे हेल्थ को तकलीफ होगी, राइट। मैंने अभी बोला है अभी, तो उसके बाद उसका वापस चेक कर लेता हूँ कि कितना एनर्जी है। सो एनर्जी बिकम्स 0 और 10%। तो ये जो वर्ड्स है ना, वर्ड्स मैटर्स अ लॉट। तो थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर नाइस वर्ड्स,
अभी धीरेन्द्र जी
इट
का
विल हेल्प अ लॉट।
क्वेश्चन था, अभी किसी का क्वेश्चन था, धीरेन्द्र जी इज फ्रॉम गुड़गांव, उनका क्वेश्चन था कि हाउ मंत्रास वर्क। तो आई थिंक दिस इज
द आंसर फॉर दैट।
This is the answer.